I've been dealing with an injury for a month. Um, so I dropped something on my toe right here, my big toe, about a month ago, just a month ago yesterday. And I literally have not been able to walk. I mean, I can limp around, but not walk as in go on a walk for a month. And, that's a little frustrating, potentially, right, for someone who likes to be active. And so I have not given up on my yoga practice. So I just wanted to do a little demo of how to work around an injury in your yoga practice. And you could be dealing with an injury of any kind. It could be a shoulder injury or a wrist injury or anything. Mine happens to be my left big toe right now. So I'm just going to do some yoga, and you can see I'm not shying away. I'm not canning my practice. I'm not shelving it for when I feel better, for when I'm all better. I'm going to work around it. I'm going to be gentle and careful with myself as I practice doing what I can do. So here we go. A little yoga today. So if you're joining me, you can just come to a comfortable seated position on the floor and maybe close your eyes and just hear the sound of my voice as you drop into your breathing. So let's just begin with taking a few long, deep inhales through the nose and exhaling out the nose. And that exhale is going to be longer than the inhale. So inhaling to the top of the breath through the nose. And we're going to exhale through the nose. And I want you to focus on your belly pulling to your spine as you exhale. So it's turning into this little fist-like shape, a little contracted. As you exhale all the air out, teeny little contraction in the belly. And then inhaling, the belly will expand. And we'll do two more like that. Exhaling, and you can just focus on the little contraction happening in the low belly at the navel. And one more deep inhale through the nose, which will lift the diaphragm and lift the shoulders and open the clavicle and the heart and the chest. Top of that breath, exhaling through the nose, focus on the low belly. Good. Exhaling all the air out. At this point, you can softly open the eye gaze, and we're going to take the palms open at our sides, the thumbs slightly rolling outwardly, and we're going to inhale the arms up to the sky. We're just going to make a clasp here and press the palms to the sky. Again, exhaling all the air out. Little contraction at the bottom of the belly. Inhaling the air in. And we're focusing on straightening the arms, pressing the palms to the sky, keeping the ears in between the biceps. So, keeping the elbows back. We'll do two more breaths, inhaling and pressing up. Lengthening the spine, pulling the belly back, keeping the pelvis neutral. And last breath in. As you can see, none of this is involving moving my toe, so I have no excuse not to practice yoga. Okay, we're going to drop one arm to the ground, and we're just going to reach and look up to the sky. And again, I like to flex my feet. We're getting a nice long stretch in the side body. We're looking, the idea to look up is that we are twisting into the cervical spine or the neck spine. And this gives the spine a nice long elongated journey from the waist all the way to the, eyeballs, basically. Reaching and breathing one more breath. And then the inhale takes us up, and we're just going to switch sides and move into that sideward stretch. So we really want to be rooting both sit bones here. We don't want to be lifting off the ground. We want to root down and reach up and look up. Just kind of have the gaze maybe even towards the eyes of the elbow. Good. Just stretching one more deep breath to the side as far as you can go. And taking the in-breath to come back up. And just stretching both hands out and opening the palms. Right? These are receptors of energy. So we never want to do our yoga like this. We want to stretch and reach and stretch everything out that we can. Right? This is our opportunity. Take one more deep inhale. We're going to exhale and press out and release the arms. Okay. All right. Coming into Bharakanasana, we're probably going to maybe do a 15-minute practice or so. Just a little short tune-up for ourselves. Bringing the insides of the feet together, the pads of the feet, the toes can be apart, just leaning into the hips, stretching the hip joints, and breathing. And again, this is just a little bit of what we call yin practice, where we're stressing the joints for flexibility and learning how to stay still, not fidget, and breathe. Just a couple more moments to stay with that. Calming our minds and calming our bodies. Okay. And then we'll just one at a time take a little side stretch out to the side. You can lean into this. Again, take the arm up if you like and look up and flex the feet. So always working with energy in yoga. How can we smooth out the energy in the body? Right, so if we notice the breath is stuck, then we want to free it up and breathe deeper. And if we notice a part of the body is limp, we want to enliven it and bring energy into it. Good, we'll take another deep inhale here and just take a quick little side stretch off to the side. And then inhale back up and we'll switch sides. So again, so far no excuses here for me not to be practicing, even with my poor little injured toe. I can do this just fine, and really thank goodness that I'm doing it, because if you haven't walked for a month, I hope you're doing something to move your body. Yeah. So need to keep that energy moving, and this is how we do it. Just intentional, focused asana. So we're elongating and again twisting to look up and work with all parts of the spine, the low, middle, and upper. Last deep breath. And then exhaling, we'll just take a little opposite stretch. You can come to the hand or all the way down to the elbow, wherever you are. It's good. Last breath. In and returning. Okay. So we'll just kind of move on. I want this to be just kind of a holistic little tune-up. And this would be, again, just something, you could do for 20 minutes just to feel better. Because I hope that's what we all want, is to feel better. So we'll do a little cat-cow. We'll start with the exhale, looking to the belly, arching the back, inhaling, the gaze up, the tail up, dropping the shoulders, exhaling all the way out, inhaling, cow. And again, I'm babying my toe. I'm just not touching my toe to the ground. And I'll show you a little more of how I've been working with this in my practice. Exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Okay. So let's move into a little bit of modified downward dog. So again, if I was to put my foot on the ground, I can do that. Okay. So you can experiment, right, with an injury. It's your body, and you can say what's too much, and you don't really want to find out the answer to that. So you want to take it slow, and you want to be very gingerly with your injury. So actually, up until now, to be very, very honest, I have been sort of doing my downward dogs like this, or like really getting into the stretch versions to just stay off this toe, because I haven't really wanted to engage this toe too much. Hitting it by accident or any such thing. But right now I'm feeling comfortable to just keep both feet on the floor, and I can see my toes. I'm looking straight at them, and everything's going fine. So I'm going to come into a plank pose. And again, this is a little more tricky because then the angle is that my toe would be on the floor here. So this is where I'm going to modify, and I've been doing these 3-legged planks like this, like I did when I was 25. So it's a good excuse to be doing some of the stuff, If you've done a lot of vinyasa, we do a lot of, one-legged different maneuvers, right? With the 3-legged dog or the 3-legged plank. And I don't do that a lot in my practice, but I did it, a fair bit earlier on, and I can still do it. And hey, I guess I'm getting a chance to do it now. So in any case, there's that. And I'm going to bring my leg into a lunge. Okay. So again, what am I doing? I'm being mindful. I'm not moving too fast. I'm not, losing track of my foot and, banging it on my mat or doing something stupid and silly to re-injure myself or make it worse. So I'm taking it very slow, I'm being very intentional. I'm not getting frustrated, and I'm being present with gratitude that I can still do my practice and, intentionality. Because, this is not the worst injury that one could have, but it has slowed me down quite a bit. And yet, there's a lot we can still do. So, moving to the second side. Now, this is a little more challenging. Again, resting this toe on the ground is not what I want to do. At least I don't want to do it. And I wouldn't suggest it. So what I've been doing is putting a pillow or a blanket there to sort of modify, and I can get the same stretch on the other side of the hip. Because we don't want to do our practice on one side and not the other, for obvious reasons. We want, balance in the body. So if you're going to do a pose on one side, you need to do the pose on the other side of the body. And if you can't do it on both sides, you should skip that pose, I would say, and do something else that you can really do with both sides of the body. Because you don't want to come out of your practice with one leg longer than the other, or something like that. Okay, good. So, coming out of this, just working with our limitations here. A couple more breaths in our downward dog. Whoa, there goes my microphone. All right. Last couple moments. All right, so I just, I did a little hip warm-up. I'm going to come into pigeon. We're just doing a quick practice, but I just wanted to show some of what I've been able to do. And again, pigeon can oftentimes come towards the end of a practice if your hips aren't open enough. But if you practice every day, you can come into pigeon a little earlier in your practice because you're doing it every day. So, again, mindfulness of the toe. And just being gentle, being patient, and being grateful that I can even do this at all. All right, and we'll switch sides. So we'll come back up. And again, this is being very gingerly as I come forward. So here I go. I'm going to place my foot back on the pillow because the idea is that we don't want the foot to like slam to the floor or, you know, my toe's way back there. I can't really keep track of it if, you know, if it's just laying on the mat kind of unattended to. And so the pillow is going to protect me from, you know, hitting it or doing anything that would damage the toe. The famous blue toe, being come to know as, maybe I'll even name it. That's a good idea. Okay. Last couple breaths in pigeon. But again, I just wanted to show a couple poses that were, you know, challenging to do with this injury. Okay, lovely. Okay, we'll come on out of pigeon. And one more time, we'll come up into plank. Sorry, we'll just come straight to downward dog. Just take a breath and then move to our seated pose again. So, in my opinion, I think all I need now is just a nice little twist in the Shavasana. And I've done some really good hamstring openings, some hip openings, some breath work, some, you know, focused alignment work, and I'm doing pretty good. So I'm gonna show a seated twist, and I guess we'll just twist straight forward. We'll take one leg in. And again, if this does not work for you, you can extend the bottom leg and bring the foot either to the floor or across the knee. This is called half Lord of the Fish. And you set yourself up where your sit bones are square on the floor. If that's not the case, again, extend the leg, bring a pillow underneath the sit bone that is lifted. That's going to be common if the hips aren't open. We're going to lift the opposite arm of the knee, the bent knee, and hook. And then, in this case, I'm going to use the couch to hold my body into this twist. And as you can see, my toe is coming along for the ride. Just hanging out down there. Probably enjoying some good circulation. That's, you know, fresh circulation that gets to be released after the twist. Blood flow into the limbs. And the gaze can come back. You can look directly back. You can also look over the opposite shoulder. Experiment, just stay with the breath. Last moment. Okay. And again, we'll do the other side here. So we're going to fold the leg under us. Again, please modify if you need to. The modification is only to help you do the pose correctly, because doing the pose like this is going to hurt you rather than help you. If you can keep both sit bones down, you're good. Inhale the opposite arm and leg up. Hook. Bring. If you don't have a couch, you can put your hand on the ground. And again, looking back over the shoulder or the opposite shoulder. Good. And then releasing the pose. All right. So I'm just going to do a quick little couple moments of breath of fire, and then we'll take a little rest. Again, this is just a sample practice you could do. I'll use the Kundalini version that we call Ego Eradicator. Ego Eradicator with the thumbs out. The thumb is known as the ego. Maybe I just gave that away because my thumb, that's what I damaged on my foot. All right. Inhale through the nose. We're going to do a little breath of fire here. I'm going to inhale through the nose, then exhale quickly, and just a passive breath in. So it goes like this. Pumping the belly. Good. Take a big breath in. Bring the thumbs together, release the fingers, stretch up, hold the breath. Hold the attention at the top of between the eyebrows. Exhale, release the arms. And we'll come into Shavasana. So you can just find a pillow, maybe under your knees, or if you don't like anything under the body for Shavasana, just make sure the palms are open at your sides, that the legs are extended, the toes fall outwardly. There's plenty of space between the shoulders and the neck, head and neck, and cover the eyes if you need to. And we'll rest for 10 or 15 minutes, but we'll stop the video here.